We're back. I just want to say how much I'm really feeling this overwhelming gratitude and just appreciation for all the work I've put in on myself. Because, look, healing is in phases, right? And it's never ending. And some phases are easier than others, some are harder than others, but they're all valuable, and they're there for very divine reason. All right. And so I honor those phases and those cycles through the healing process, and I can very easily tell which phase and what is it that I need in this phase, or what I need to realize, or how to go about it, and listen to my guides as far as like, all right, this phase you might want to like slow down and take care of yourself a little, maybe watch your words, because this is like a harder phase, whatever, or this one's a little easier, you can be a little more free, whatever. You understand what I'm saying? So I could feel it now. I'm finishing a phase where I think since February, because February I did mushrooms, and it revealed a lot, a very, very deep thing that I had to heal and work on, to no longer feel ashamed of showing my gifts and just the way that I really actually speak, like in terms of vibration and energy and frequency in the universe and all this, because I've already been talking about this for over a decade now. Before it was a thing to even talk about, I was already talking about it. I was already trying to explain it. But I kind of went silent for a moment because of that shame. But at that time, I wasn't ready to heal it yet, because I was healing other things. So I was intensely focusing on some other things that needed more of my attention at the forefront at those times. Those are things that now I've mastered. And so that's why I'm feeling this. I'm feeling a very, very deep sense of mastery and peace, and gratitude for all of the guidance that the universe has helped me with, and how not once did I ever feel like alone because of their presence, because of my spirit guides, and how intently and intensely they love me and they guide me. And I'm feeling such an appreciation right now, because I'm integrating 3 different timelines into one right now. For those of you who know I'm talking about, shout out. If you know, you know. And I'm integrating 3 different timelines, 3D, 4D, 5D, into one, because now I'm on the 5D. And there's different terminologies to say the same thing I'm saying, but basically elevation has occurred, a lot of elevation, and in order to seal it and sustain it, you also have to go through a process of integration. That's what's happening with me right now, and that's what's been happening with me the past few weeks. And that integration can sometimes feel confusing, and it can feel a little scary sometimes. But it's it's just remembering who I am and who I've become, and basically showing up as my highest self on all 3 timelines when they show up. And there's times where the 3D would show up, and Sometimes I would notice it through certain emotions that come forward. And although I could look like a poker face, like I'm not, like you can't tell what I'm feeling, I would witness it and observe it in my thoughts and in my mind. And I would see the emotion and the old desires I used to have in all these things. And I would see how I used to just go with it and not think twice and not think about. There was no buffer, there was no pause, there was nothing. I just jumped into the emotion and then identified with it, and then would reap the consequences later, and then figure out, oh damn, there were certain emotions and desires that came up in my thought process that were very similar to that time in my life. We're talking about a decade ago, a little over a decade ago. And I'm telling you, not even a flinch. There was so much of a buffer between me as the observer and the emotion, and the process where you would normally accept and identify the emotion out into behavior. When I say that buffer is thick, it's thick. And that's what I call growth. That's what I call mastery. That's what that's what I call, I did work. I did the work. I paid my dues. I did everything I had to do, and I changed in every way out that I was called to change, to create that strong foundation of a buffer that I got now, you can't, there's no more feel something and then just impulsively, no. I witness the emotion now, and my highest self would observe the emotion, and then along with my spirit guides, and say whether or not this is a good idea. And wow, people are really gonna be fucking ass. Thank you, and would observe the emotion and would see where did that emotion come from, like start observing it, start questioning it, analyzing it. Where is this coming from? Is it and what version of me this is coming from, why it's there? And then I start picturing all possible rewards and consequences of acting out that emotion or that desire, or fulfilling certain, what I call quote unquote desires. They're not actual desires, they're just attached to the emotion, right? Given I can also pick up on other people's emotions and realize that they're not my own, but in this case I'm talking about emotions that are of my own, or of who I was, right? And so in that case, I would go through that buffer and question the shit out of it, and then play out rewards and consequences, and see how much that emotion is really, truly aligned with my highest self. That is like one of my highest priorities. Now, making sure that whatever I feel and I do and I behave is aligned with my highest self as much as possible, or is in support of alignment of my highest self. All right, no matter what it looks like. And so I was observing these emotions and these desires, and I'm like, I know how you look like I healed you, so I know what you look like. And hi, thank you for visiting, but we got this under control. You're just gonna stay as an emotion, and I'm gonna honor you and let you pass. You are valid, but we will not be acting out any desires of that emotion because of XYZ, and these are the consequences, and I am going to remain in my power, and I'm going to remain in my alignment. But thank you for passing. You may move on with love, right? And that's it. Me 10 years ago would have never thought that I could ever heal and develop this such powerful discipline over my behavior and my thoughts. And I'm not saying that every behavior I do is completely calculated, but it is to an extent. It is thought of and things like that. But are there times where, of course, maybe a trigger might happen at some point? Yes, of course, because at the end of the day, that's also another role of the universe, is to mirror back to you things that it wants you to continue working on or something like that. Or maybe there's a message that they're trying to give you. But in this particular case, the message is clear. I have mastered those timelines to where my 5D self is unfuckwithable. I literally feel indestructible. I really do. And I feel like whatever the future holds, I can more than handle it. I can more than handle it. And whatever may seem like it's hard to handle in the moment, I know that there's growth to be had there. I know there's a lesson and a message there. I know that there's something that the universe is trying to reflect back to me and help me to further elevate. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's it. And I say this to also tell, like, whatever resonates with you and hits you from this, take it. Take it. Because there's nothing but elevation here. There's nothing else. There's nothing else but elevation here. And it's beautiful, and it's just an amazing feeling to just sit with in silence and just be in awe. And I really appreciate it. I really do. I really do. And further and further and furthermore, during the integration process, I'm also appreciating more and more and more the things that I have been through and the ways that I have paid my karmic debt off completely. And how it really did have to take those losses and those pains and those traumas to happen. And I can handle it. I mean, bitch, I signed the soul contract for it. Listen, this is not by mistake. I literally was born for this. No, literally. I chose my parents. I chose the tasks. I chose the experiences for very certain reasons. And a lot of it was to pay my karmic dues off and let's go, man. Elevate my soul. And I already knew. And that's listen, and whatever you can take from me, take it. Take it and elevate. Elevate. This ain't just about me. A lot of why I stuck around through a lot of dark times is also because of all of you. Because I said, if I stop now, what are they going to be able to take from that? There's no richness in just saying, I'm not. No, like, the richness of it comes from seeing it through. See it through and see what it's trying to show you. And then become. Heal. Integrate, transcend, become. Do the fucking shadow work. And then when you come out on the other end, motherfucker, you won't even realize, like, until you look back and connect the dots, like, damn, like, I changed for this. Like, I changed for this. And there's nothing but strength you can pull out of that. Self-empowerment. Like, wow, like I did that. But yeah. I'm going to continue to bask in this. And whatever vibes I could send to you, go through it, pull through it, feel all of it, and then heal it, and then do the shadow work and integrate and transcend and evolve and elevate. Because at the end of the day, that's what's really going to take you higher. Whatever that looks like for you. Peace.